Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. Beautiful people, I don't know how I forgot to talk about this because I remember there was a time when there was a dichotomy, there was a split, you know, um, among, well, if I say, I don't even know if I should use a between or among anything over three, you would say among. Once it's two, you say between. But there was a split, between two sets of Jamaicans. Non Jukas and Jukas. I don't want to say the word and they block the video. So I don't know if the word is free to be said now. I feel like we're on a gag order. But beautiful people, I never forgot when you had that split and the non Jukas were saying if you take this thing, you're going to die. The Jukas said that if you don't take this thing, you're going to die. And added to that, the Jukas stated that they would give, they would catch the disease because others are susceptible to it because they're not safeguarded, they're not protected. And we heard the whole enchilada of this phenomenon called juke or the COVID-19 pandemic. And I said to myself, it is a sad state of affair, but I know it's going to change. The Jamaica that I live in, the world all over, I know it's going to change. That people would reunite, but there's going to be the aftermath. There is going to be consequences, maybe for the Jukas and the non-Jukas. So people like myself, who you would categorize as the non-Jukas, because I didn't take anything more than drink some water. I'm just using that hyperbole, meaning I didn't take it. I just said, God, I'm just going to trust you. I'm just going to trust you. I'm not going to take it for more reasons than one. For me personally, I just thought and I felt led by God not to. And now I saw something, in fairly recent times. The Jamaica Gleaner, I guess it's a word all over, that AstraZeneca had to be pulled back because it's causing a rare disease. What's it? Thrombosis with thrombocytopenia. If I don't call it right, I'm not a medical doctor. Go and check it out. TTS. It is blood clot. So the clotting of the blood. And when that happens, that is totally problematic. Because I remember some years ago, somebody told me that blood clots, I don't curse any bad words, can be so powerful, I don't know, or, chronic, let me say, or acute, that it ends up, it runs to your heart and creates a problem. And then you can have a cardiovascular illness or heart attack, end up dying, or maybe a stroke, and other debilitating diseases can follow suit. And in fact, I saw something where somewhere in Europe, I don't know if it's England or just Europe somewhere, where even £100 million it has to be issued out to about 50 people. Some people were dead, so maybe it goes to their family. Some they're probably, they're on a life-threatening kind of machine. I don't know what their status is, but it is not good either way. It is not good either way. And I knew we would have, to be honest with you people, I knew we would have come to a stage like this. I knew it. And I'm not saying this to make anybody feel bad who would have taken the joke. We all, my thing is, let me tell you how I feel about something. One of the things that God has given humans is a thing called volition, meaning choice. He doesn't force people. You just have to pay the consequences, be it good or bad. He doesn't force. The problem that I have with mankind being the made thing, the created, is that they try to usurp what God has ordained. And if people understand the etymology of control is witchcraft. Now, people, when they think of witchcraft, they only think of something boogly woogly, hocus pocus, whatever it is, a magical thing. No. When you try to control, you dabble in witchcraft. A lot of people don't understand that. And for me, that was one of the problems that I had. People's jobs were threatened. In fact, I heard it cause commotion in households where maybe the wife wasn't interested or the husband wasn't, and they were upset with each other. Maybe, I don't know if it caused divorce, but it damaged friendships. I never forgot one sort of popular guy came on and said people who he knew were upset with him. They ostracized him, kind of blackballed him. You know, I remember one famous person, right to Jamaica, we call one nun, what you call it, jukas, not jukas the person used versus jukas. I'm saying, wow, this is where we are going. This is where we have gone. That in the split, in the twinkling of an eye, in a split second, you and I can be married and then not married, not on the basis of maybe irreconcilable issues or something that would cause, or maybe death or whatnot, but because I don't agree for some foreign matter to come into my body. Because I don't agree and you agree for it to come. People's jobs were threatened. Don't you see that something is wrong with that algorithm, that formula, that phenomenon? Or maybe phenomena if it's more than one issue or issues. And that was a problem that I had too. I mean, the hurry come up products that would make it. The hurry come up. I remember back in the day when I was a little girl, I had to be immunized, they call it. The vaccination for, what you call those sort of ailments. Like you'd say chicken pox, and I don't remember some of the things right now. But from here, I say chicken pox, the other things that would be related. And we were vaccinated, but I'm sure they spent time producing that thing, creating that thing, and mitigating all the negative side effects of those things. This one, if you didn't take it, oh my goodness gracious me. People didn't even speak to people. People didn't speak to people. People gave the silent treatment almost permanently. And the reality is that, I've heard people say, and I've seen it, I don't know if there's a correlation, that people who took it, they died horrendously. They died bad. And I've heard others saying it. And we never, my problem, and it bothers me because I said, should a next situation like this come, are we going to now have that split again, where you have the jukas and the non-jukas, where people who don't take it are being ostracized? We are going to be ostracized because we don't take it, and then we are being blamed for if you should, because we're not, we are spreading the thing to you, and where you should safeguard yourself. Don't you see that we live in a twisted world, a world that revels in disunity, in disharmony, in factions and dissensions, because we really should not have been there. We should just agree to disagree. It's not a matter that we are and just say, all right, if you're a roommate, you didn't take it, I'd prefer if you wear a mask. If I'm in your space, not if you're in my space. So if you come to my house, you have to accept if I don't want to wear one or not. People were forced to, if more than 10 people were seen at a place, you're going to be charged. I mean, we took it all the way out. Almost trying to take away freedom from people. Almost trying to take away freedom from people. It wasn't democratic. It wasn't even laissez-faire. It was autocratic. Very much autocratic. And look at what is happening now. The TTS. The TTS. I don't want to call thrombosis. I need to look at it again. So it says thrombosis, vis-a-vis thrombocytopenia. I don't know if I'm calling it correctly. But you can take it out. TTS. Blood clots. That is what it is causing. Blood clots. And I'm not cursing, a bad word. I don't think people understand how damaging and far-reaching blood clots can be. Creates a whole host of problems. Can kill you basically instantaneously. And see, they have to pull back the drug. And one of the things that with vaccines, what people don't understand, it goes into the bloodstream. So, as one man says, there's nothing that you can do to cure it. There's nothing that can get it out because it goes into, so it mix up in the blood. Unless you go take out your blood, take out your intestine, clean it up and try put it in back, you'd be a dead duck. You'd be dead. Because they obviously know that that's not possible. I hope in the future when something like this comes in, again, that people don't get segregated and create all this. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this message.